Wrapping up, we'll dive into topic number 4, Trove
Mm-hmm.
topics.
Oh, right. Oh, boy.
The rapid fire of like all the questions from our dumb friends.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
and cool friends.
We
'Cause
appreciate your support and you wanting to be a part of this,
yeah,
I guess.
I mean some of them. Then other people will just keep asking about Fast and the Furious movies,
Which
and
I've never seen, so joke's on y'all. Joey,
haha,
you know this. You
yes,
know I haven't
like
seen Fast and the Furious.
I
I watched it.
thank
She
you.
asked that question, and then I watched the trailer, and I was just like, I don't know. And then she was like, what do you think the plot's gonna be? I'm like,
Yeah, I
they
don't know.
family,
But
angry, happiness, cars, explosions.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Trove topics. You can be part of the show. Tweet at me at Snarky Starky, or tweet at the show Twitter at Trove Talk using the hashtag Trove Topics, and we'll try and incorporate them into the show. Basically, always just keep an eye out. Usually Fridays or Saturdays, whenever I'm recording with the next guest, I'll send out a tweet and say, "Hey, I'm recording with Lauren tonight. What do you want to know?" And that's when you can. That's the best place to kind of ask the questions. So up first, Brandon Gann at Games Gann asks, in light of the holidays, what is your favorite Christmas memory?
My favorite Christmas memory. I have a lot of bad memories for Christmas, but
Well,
that's just
not.
family drama. But
That's
no.
not good.
Yeah, well, no. My favorite part about Christmas is we always have like our set traditions. Like I think a lot of people, most families probably do. But one of ours is playing a game called Tripoli. Have you ever heard of
Tripoli?
Tripoli?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a huge thing. We all like put in $5 and then we just played around and just it's like not a specific memory. Like it's just like that moment, like playing that game. It's like the one time we pull it out and play it. The whole like family plays it and it's like the one time that we're just like in like the best of moods and just like happy and just laughing at each other, just drinking. It's just like when people like it's just like we always have great memories, like there's stories from it of
Nice.
like because like the game is you have to or like part
Yes,
of the game is
like
when you do the I don't even know the appropriate terms, but like just like after like the main like poker part, if you win, you can like get the pot, or and there's also the kitty, which is if you win the part where you play all your cards like in a row. And there's just been times like it's like my grandma or something, and she forgets to get the kitty or she forgets to get the pot, and we will not. Everyone will know, but we will not say it until the round starts. And then there's like great memories of like my grandmother actually like someone else forgetting it, but like my grandmother just like waiting, and like the second it's like the next round to where they won't be able to get it, she just starts screaming like you forgot like the kitty or whatever, and just like starts laughing. And it's just like those moments. Like I love that game because it just brings us all together. And
Yeah, I haven't
like
thought about Tripoli in a long time.
no,
And that's
it's
definitely
a
something like we
tradition.
grew up playing in my family, and and like yeah, I remember having the board, and we like and having it all set up and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something I haven't thought about in probably
No,
20
it's
years.
such a fun game, and it's just like we tell the same exact stories like 5 times in like the week. Like it's just every time we play, we tell the same
Yep.
stories because they never get old. And
Yeah.
no, it's just
Um,
those traditions.
Pinochle is like the big family game that we would play a lot of the time. I mean, like we would also play like Monopoly and stuff like that, and Yahtzee. But
Yeah.
Pinochle was like we would have those same kinds of stories with Pinochle where because we would play like three-handed, and so you've got like a three-card kitty that you can bid on, and basically like if you win the bid, you take those 3 cards and then have to
Right.
discard 3 cards that you had so that you don't have like an advantage of cards. And we would do the same kind of thing, whereas like if we would start playing, we would recognize that like whoever had bid and won the kitty didn't discard their cards like they were supposed to, and so we would we basically get to call a mulligan on the round on the hand,
Yeah.
because we were
It
like,
is so
paying
great.
attention and knowing that they weren't. In terms of like my favorite Christmas memory, like also like you touched on, we would have like in my family because So my mother's side of the family is all out here with us. So like every Christmas, it was basically like we would do the immediate family at my parents' house, and then for like lunch, dinner, we would go over to my grandmother's house and be joined by my grandmother, aunt, and usually my grandfather would show up for food, and we would tell like the same kinds of stories year after year after year. There was one year where my grandmother was traveling in Europe and bought this very tacky looking like bedazzled sweater for my aunt, and my aunt opens it up and holds it up, and the first thing I say is, why does it say big in just big bold sequins? Like it's just got the word big written on it in like in sequins. And my grandma was like, I didn't even notice that. And so like it was just a running joke every year. We would talk about like that sweater and how my grandmother was basically calling my aunt fat one year. And so we would kind of have those stories that built up over time. And so my favorite like direct Christmas memory is one year when I was like I was like out of work, and so I just didn't have the money to kind of buy everybody something. I wrote a script for my family and like printed out copies for everybody, and basically like gave everybody their copy of the script, and we read out my script with everybody like reading their own roles, and it was basically like touching on all of those stories and having all of those moments. And so it was like I wrote like a sketch for my family basically to perform,
really doing that theater
really touch kind of all of those kind of touchstones within the family. So that's what stands out for me, and that's the new story that we kind of is talked about every year. It's like my aunt will say, "Hey, remember when you like wrote that script for everybody?" And
yeah,
like, yes,
it's always the same stuff. Yeah. I love it.
Next, Corey Hicks at Chixie_2, C Hicksy, asks, "What is your favorite day of the year, and why is it my birthday, Kappa?" And you can tell he's Canadian because he uses the U in favorite. One of them Canadian folks. So, what is your favorite day of the year? And is it actually his birthday?
I don't know what his birthday is, so maybe. No, not really. I would say my favorite day of the year is Christmas, despite like saying like there are bad memories, but it's just like it's the one time, like especially now more so than ever, it's the one time I'm actually with my entire family. It's the only time during the year that I get to see everyone. It's like the only time during the year, maybe twice, that I see my parents. Like it's always going to be, or it's always that consistent, like I will be there for Christmas, like everyone will be there, I get to see everyone. There's family drama, but I at least get to see it's just like, but in the end we're a family, and it's just another time together. But there's no other day that I really like get excited for, I guess, because it's just any other normal day. So, but no, that and like probably like New Year's Eve is a great year because it's always like my brother's friend. It's just always a good time, New Year's Eve as well. Just with my family or whatever party I'm at. I don't know. It's always that's gonna be happening.
I lean towards Christmas myself because like the other big touchstone like holidays, like I think of like Halloween. I've done enough dress up in theater that like Halloween isn't
You're
my
over it.
Holiday.
I don't like Halloween either.
New Year's, I like my introversion kicks in like in full gear at times, and so like that's not one. I guess like in recent years, I would say like Kind of Funny Live Day, whenever that's going to be. Like
that's true. If I can choose that, sure. I didn't know if I had to like choose a specific day, like May 25th every year.
So yeah, that's where I sit now. But like in terms of like consistent day every year, it's going to be Christmas because I get to see family. I mean, like I see those family members every week pretty much at this point. But it's like the spirit of everything is a lot of fun.
For sure.
Up next, Tyler Ferguson at Doomhammer7T asks, was it nerve-wracking to watch so much Gilmore Girls so quickly? So this is in reference to you just binged all of the Gilmore Girls.
It's true. I did.
And I will also link in the description you and one of the people asking a question later, Fiona and Joey Noel, also who asks a question later, all guested on
our friends
on a Gilmore Girls episode of Gilmore Girls specific episode of the Lipstick Nerds, which I've been on myself earlier this week, and you guys just kind of devoted an entire 2 streams because of technical difficulties to Gilmore Girls. And you were kind of the noob who had just really gotten into it. Yeah. So what was that experience like?
Yeah, I'd never podcasted before until this week, and now I've done 2. It was actually nerve-wracking because at first I started going slow because I was just like enjoying it, and then I realized, oh shit, there's no way I'm going to make it if I keep up with this pace. So it was actually kind of nerving because I really wanted to watch it, like watch the new the revival when it came out. So I didn't quite make it, but I at least made it the same week. Like I got the week, like came out like on Friday, and I watched it on like Sunday or something, or Monday. Like I watched it that next week, so I at least got the week span down. But yeah, it became like oh shit, I need to speed this up. So that's why I binged it. I went literally from watching like an episode or 2 a day, tweeting about it, Nikki and Joey being like, you're never gonna make it. Like you need to speed up. And I'm like, I have a life, man. And so to where I just like my weekend just became my weekend, my entire night, my lunch break at work, everything became Gilmore Girls. To give you a glimpse, it was like fine. And then a Sunday, I watched the entire season 4 of Gilmore Girls. And then the next Sunday is when I watched the entire season 7 of Gilmore Girls. So I had watched season 4 on Sunday, then proceeded to watch all of season 5 and all of season 6 on the nights of that week. And then I watched all of season 7 Sunday. And it was Sunday/Monday morning because I go into work late on Mondays. And then I started watching the revival. So, yes, it was nerve-wracking. I did not think about it that way, but it really was because I was stressed that I was not going to make it. I did not make it, but it was close enough. It's close. I did good work. And now I have it going from like your entire like free time being Gilmore Girls to like not having Gilmore Girls. It's an adjustment, and I don't like it. I stopped playing WoW for Gilmore Girls. I was like, I don't have time for anything. But Gilmore Girls.
So much time.
I know. Now I'm just like, what do I do with my life? Like, I love all these people. These have been like my people for a whole month.
I'll go do a podcast with Trevor for 3 hours.
Yeah, there we go. That works.
Great. Up next, we have Zyger asks a handful of questions. At Zyger1337. Yeah, little.
Do you say, is it Red Zyger1337 or is it Red Zyger Leet?
Because I've never been into Leet speak.
I know. I've actually never pronounced it that way, but
I say 1337.
Trolling myself. Takes one to know one, man.
Yeah, knowing that it means Leet, I say 1337. More so to spite
37.
Because he is
There's
the least Leet person I know.
There is totally not an accidental Leet in Gilmore Girls. I tweeted a picture about it. They were on a webpage, and it's like, back in the day when like it had the view counts at the bottom. Totally the view number. They scrolled down, it was 1-3-3-7. I was like, that is not accidental. That is awesome.
That's somebody who did that graphic for them is a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that is amazing. I'll have this forever.
Nice. So Zyger asks, why do you love Joey and Noel so much more than me? We smashed together with Nick and Tim.
Well, if the criteria is to smash, then Joey and I are good. We are good to go. That is why. No, I love Joey because she's just better than you, Zyger. How about that?
I can support that.
How about that?
But that was he's also referring to you guys met, I think, during last year's Extra Life stream.
Yes.
When Nick and Tim were playing Smash Brothers with the community people.
Yes, I signed up to do the Smash Bros. Tournament, or not tournament, but just Smash Bros. Play time with Nick and Tim during the Kind of Funny Extra Life Year 1. Yeah, Zyger was the one that was like putting people in and out of the game, so I played Smash with him, and that was the first time I really interacted with him. He had to add me on my Wii U, so I became friends with Zyger on the Wii U.
I think he's like my only friend on the Wii U as well.
Right. And then I don't even know from there how anything happened at that point. But no, I just had a good time, and that day is when I kind of got more involved, I think, with the community, just like knowing Zyger a little bit and just like seeing more. I had the Discord there, and I don't know. That's when I learned that like Lindsay was like a person, and then I saw the inner workings of Kind of Funny more, or the community at least, and
cool.
All went from there.
Zyger also asks, to Lauren, what's something you would tell 10-year-old Lauren? And just for fun, 10-year-old Trevor.
Fucking troll, man. I would tell 10-year-old Lauren. Let's see. I would, because it's like one of those things, my life turned out fine. Like, there's nothing I need to warn myself about. I would, like, I don't want to fuck anything up because I'm, like, trying to warn them. Like, it's all for the better. But, I don't know. I guess I wish, like, it's more of a, if I could go back in time and change something. I wish just, like, when I was younger and, like, in high school and stuff, I did more film-related stuff. So just, like, I tell myself, like, don't be afraid to do that stuff, because I always kind of had a small passion for it, like, or, like, wanting to do it, but I never, like, really pursued it. A lot of my friends did it, and I guess I just didn't want to be, like, doing the same exact thing as my friends, or, like, looking like I was following them or anything. So, I guess it's just, don't be afraid to, like, do something you kind of want to do. My dad had a camera. Like, I could have easily, like, gone around and done that stuff when I was younger, and I always kind of wanted to, but I never actually did it. So I always wonder what would be a little different if I had been doing that from the get-go, sort of thing. And I'm supposed to tell 10-year-old Trevor something?
Apparently.
Or you? Okay. Huh.
No, yeah, you were supposed to tell
10-year-old Trevor what would...
Have you been in the group chat when I've put in the pictures of like 8-year-old Trevor or something?
I think so, yeah.
Me as a young cute little kid.
young
Talk to that
kid
and be like, it's all gonna go downhill.
It's all gonna go downhill. Remember that theater thing you were thinking about doing?
just drop it.
Just drop it right now. Walk away. No bueno. No, I'd probably tell 10-year-old Trevor something similar to me. It's just like more of a just don't be, because you like writing and you like doing, I don't know if like 10-year-old Trevor what your like hobbies were, but it's just like a similar like you can like reaching for the stars or whatever isn't like just the same, like you grow up to be like in this day and age that like that's actually a possibility. You can actually like meet people and like kind of like achieve your dreams in a sense. So like don't, and like you did acting, so you clearly pursued like a dream, but like so it's just
no, I was in it for the money.
You were in it for were you?
Yeah.
You wanted to be the famous one. Yeah. I'm gonna be famous.
I would say, since I'll play along and do my advice for like 10-year-old Trevor is pretty much the same. Like, if I could go back now, I'd say, hey, you're gonna really want to write about video games, so start doing that now.
Right,
start doing
exactly.
it way sooner.
Exactly.
So that I do get a head start on it, because if I were doing what I'm doing now, like when I was out of high school, I would
be a whole different story.
I could very easily be in the same kind of boat as a Greg or Colin because
Right.
we're all about the same age. Like Colin's a few months older than me, so we could all like I would be in that level, or I
Right.
could be in that level.
Yeah.
And that like back then it was way easier to get into it. I mean, it's still like nightmarishly difficult.
Yeah.
Easier than
Maybe I'd
than
also
it is
tell
now,
10-year-old
perhaps.
Lauren to play Mario 64 on the N64.
Nah,
Like,
you're
no?
fine. You're fine not playing.
Really?
Marios.
You think
I'm just kidding. I'm
You
just
think
kidding.
I'm fine?
I would say I would.
Here's all the games you fucked up about. Like, you're a bad gamer, child. Go play these games.
I would tell 10-year-old Lauren, hey, you're really gonna like World of Warcraft, so you should start playing it sooner.
Right? Like, just accept it. Just become pro vanilla.
Get in it.
Vanilla
Yeah,
player.
get in on vanilla. Like, make a name for yourself.
Yeah. Get
Be Leroy Jenkins before
get Beasley
Leroy
on all the
Jenkins is a thing.
servers.
I don't,
Just-
what
yeah,
is- I meant to ask, what is the Leroy Jenkins thing? Like, I know that that's
Leroy
from WoW, right?
Jenkins. Yeah, I don't even know I don't even really know. I know it's an achievement
Okay.
on WoW, so.
I
but
know.
I don't.
I knew it was an achievement or a trophy from Borderlands.
Oh yeah, it is.
There
No,
was-
it's
there was a Leroy
it's in
Jenkins,
WoW.
like,
It's just
reference in there.
there's like a Leroy Jenkins like NPC,
Okay.
and I think it has something to do with. It may have something to do with the lore, but I don't pay attention to the lore, so.
Up next, Ben Jingle Bellevue at Mr. Bento Box, last week's guest, asks, "How much better are your lives now that you know me?"
It's actually worse. So
Oh,
thanks, Ben, for fucking everything up.
you are like you're doing like you got the good like office style snark going, right? Where you're like doing it very dryly, very
Yeah.
like that. I mean, that was a very Pam thing to say, right? So well done, Beasley.
And I'm not gonna take it back. So.
Well done. Yeah. Ben, I cherish that I know you and can invite you on. We can talk about Hamilton. So my life is infinitely enriched because of that. So don't fuck that up. Ben also asked, and I used him kind of there to transition into some of the like kind of building off of our conversation on the getting to know you topic. We've got a few questions now kind of looking specifically at you and career-wise goals and whatnot. So Ben also asks, what's the biggest lesson you've taken away from working in Hollywood?
Yeah, probably the biggest lesson I have found is to, at least Hollywood-wise, is to not get comfortable where you're at. Always, in the sense, like, not like, I don't mean that like as a negative thing, just like just always be prepared for everything. Like, I know for me, like, and it's also a segue to just like, also don't stress either. I have a problem a lot. I stress about like when my jobs end, and like, will I ever work again, kind of thing. And I've had to learn from others that tell me just like, don't worry about it. Things will come around. If you work, the few jobs you do work hard, take note, like people will take note of you if you do a good job and if you work hard. So it's like, don't get too comfortable where you're at, because with freelancing, you'll always be changing, and always just like always be on your toes, I guess, in a sense. But also don't stress about like being unemployed is not the end of the world. Like, you will bounce back and like people will call you. It's just like things sometimes just don't line up perfectly. Like, it's actually really nice when things line up perfectly, but that doesn't happen often. So it's just, those are the lessons I've had to take to heart, because I stress out very easily, like when my financials just stop, or like my like income stops, and I'm always constantly saving my money for in case like I don't work for 6 months, which like hopefully will never happen. But it's just like I'm always just there, prepared. You do have to prepare for the worst, like here, even though ideally that would never actually happen.
Yeah, great. Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy also asks, my only question is how she feels about taking the entertainment world by storm.
Well, I am feeling better about it these days. It sucked last year. You just like having to like make those connections and just being on your own, and financials again, just being in the negative every month. You got to move out here with some money so that you can sustain yourself for a bit. So I was luckily like never really in too much trouble, but it's just like it sucked watching money just get eaten up, like so much of it. Like I'd never seen so like so
So,
it
so having money put into your bank account
yeah.
is way better than
Yeah, so second year 2, taking by storm, great idea. It's been much better. I've made some great friends, great
You
contacts.
probably should have just tried taking the world by storm in year 1. I think that would have been the way to go.
Right? Yeah, that would ideally that could have worked out, but no, I'm not that cool, Trevor. Not that great.
Back to Zyger for you've worked on a lot of shows, Lauren. But if you could create your own show of anything, what would it be about?
I would want to do something I've always wanted to do is like a docuseries on internet communities kind of thing. So to try to erase that stigma, just like, don't make friends online, like back in the day when they're like, oh, never tell anyone your real name, your username, don't be your real name, and now your username's always your real name. Like, it like just doesn't matter anymore. Like, I would love to like, if like a documentary or like a docu-series that's just like educating people on the stigma, or just like that there's no, like, it's just the way of the world now. And like, maybe it's not, like, maybe it's just like in the gaming community, because like so much of what you do is online, so you just kind of naturally fall into it. So I'd almost want to, like, kind of like the Guild, like how Felicia Day did a show like around that, like even do like a fictional. I really like that premise, but I would love to kind of teach people about it. Maybe even like work with Christian and like make it a kind of funny focus, like that community in general. Christian has a ton of B-roll that I could use, and then just have like a lot of interviews in the docu-series and just kind of put it together in how people's lives would be different without the internet, like without the people they have met online, without if there was no like internet communication, if it was just solely like a solo thing you did and you met no one online, you never like did any of that, like how different their lives would be, career paths would change, things like that. So that's always something I would love to make if I ever actually did anything creative.
Nice. I mean,
but
pitch it to Legendary. I'm sure you can get like the Nerdist and Geek and Sundry communities. Like,
that's true.
Kind of like, I mean, they seem like some of the good ones, because that's my fear is like like talking internet communities. We are absolutely like fortunate in our kind of experiences. It sounds like compared to the more toxic communities.
And I say Kind of Funny just because I am more educated on Kind of Funny's community than anyone else's, so it doesn't have to be that, but just like, and obviously it wouldn't be solely that either. That's just like, I would be able to make a docuseries better if it was with that specific community, and then having like Nerdist and Geek and Sundry like communities just as examples too. But I would love to have like interviews like with community members on how what that's changed, and like with like the guys, like their opinion on how a good community has helped them, / how they wouldn't be anything without these people online, kind of thing, and like how they've even met people on the, like things like that. So just all fronts, I would like to make a docu-series like that.
Very nice. And I know he didn't ask me on it, but I will chime in anyway, because and I mentioned this to Ben when we were actually hanging out at Disneyland, because Ben...
I'm going to take notes. I'm going to steal your idea. Go.
That's fine. I mean, Ben's probably going to steal it too, maybe, because he's going to school for screenwriting.
He sure is.
But we talked back, because I used to do like sketch comedy and stuff when I was in college, and so that was kind of some of my earlier writing was writing stuff like that. And I worked for Sam's Club for a number of years, and then I worked for Costco for a couple of years as a cart pusher in both places. And so I would like come up with
if I ever need
tons of
stories. A cart pusher, I know who to call.
So I mean, like I basically had like a season mapped out for a fake show in my head called Cart Crew, that would have like
fun.
surrounded a group of people who work in pushing carts.
Yeah.
You had, it would have been like an Office type of like documentary comedy kind of show.
Mockumentary.
Your main guy who's like, he's just doing it because he needs a job. You've got like the lifer who like is in their 40s and has been pushing carts for 20 years because that's what they do with their lives. The girl who is only doing it because when I worked at one of my locations, like they didn't allow women to push carts for safety concerns because of the neighborhood, and so like I've got like I had a character in there that like she fought basically like a court case kind of thing to be allowed to push carts, and so that was kind of her character archetype. You have like the door greeter who is like borderline senile, but also like provides like the aged wisdom. When he's telling you to
good old senile door greeter,
and then like the crappy manager boss kind of thing. And it was like I had like a whole thing mapped out where you could like, because I went from being a cart person to then I went inside and was a cashier, and then I worked in other departments and stuff, so you could kind of build the show from there and like introduce just like The Office or Parks and Rec have like the bigger worlds and like other branches or whatever. You could introduce other departments throughout the show.
That's a fun idea.
Introduce new characters. So that would be my idea for the show.
If I had to, I like that based off of real life experiences.
Oh yeah.
If I had to do like
I had episodes that were basically just, well, these are random things. This
literally happened. This actually happened.
The disgusting things you find pushing carts. I would find people like just change their babies' diapers and leave dirty diapers in their carts. I would have to clean those up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. No.
I witnessed a carjacking, and so that would be an episode.
What do you even do in that situation?
Came out. I was on the radio calling for like the rent-a-cop to show up and actually
rent-a-cop
do their job, because we had the
security
guy who sat in a security in his car in a security uniform.
Yeah.
In case something like that happened, and he would like walk around the store in the lot. That's like once every hour or something, and other than that he would just sit in his car. So I had notebooks full of like character breakdowns and like episode synopses for like a full season kind of written out. So that was like, if I ever tried to go into like film production, that's definitely the show I would pitch.
If I had to do a scripted show, I'd do one like Unreal, one that's just like a scripted version of what the fuck production's like, so that everyone can see the craziness that it can be.
As we alluded to earlier, Joey Noel at Joey Noel asks, what did you think of the Fate of the Furious trailer?
Had no idea what Fate of the Furious was. Googled it. Was brought to the trailer. Watched the trailer. Was confused. And just said, this is this is a movie I don't really care to see, is what I'll see it. Like, if I'm not saying I'll see it, I'm saying I would see it if I had to.
Joey and I joke. So Joey, like, this is a recurring bit on the show at this point, where Joey will ask about Fast and the Furious stuff because
that all makes
I've
sense
only
now.
ever seen the first movie.
Gotcha.
And so when this trailer dropped last week, I was like, oh god, she's gonna ask something about it. Like I watched it. Like, I know enough about the series to know, like, it's become this ridiculous like thing. It started out as just cars and racing, but now it's really about family. And
I appreciated that they legit said family, and like I was like, oh, I thought that was a Nick and Tim thing.
Yeah.
No, it's like straight up.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Dom is turned to the dark side, or is being like blackmailed or something. I know Brienne, our friend at Miss Movies, because I think like Helen Mirren is in it. So like there are rumors of like, is she like, and she wasn't in the trailer. So what is how is that affecting is that what's like what Dom is trying to protect or something? I don't know. It's going to be a dumb movie. Joey and I, the weekend it comes out, Joey and I will be in San Francisco for Nikki's wedding. So I imagine we might try and like get together and go see it.
That's fun.
Even if I haven't seen the rest of them at this point. As a follow-up there, Zyger asks, is family really dead? Yes, Zyger, family is you should not invest any of your time in family because family will just always disappoint you. But congratulations on your new baby brother.
Yeah, he is a baby.
And then yeah, Joey comes back with are there any plot predictions? No. Like plot predictions, crazy things will happen with cars. Explosions will happen. There's a submarine in that trailer, so a car will come out of that submarine is my prediction. And that's about
Are there going to be underwater cars? Or are the cars just going to like do a Batmobile style transition to submarine?
That's a good one. I like.
Is a submarine really a car? Is what we're wondering.
The submarine has wheels, so it's going to come out. It's going to come out of that ice like it is in the trailer, and it's going to land, and then it's going to continue chasing on its super crazy wheels. It will continue chasing all of the other cars that are driving along ice because they've run out of buildings to fly them out of, I guess.
If not, we have the plot to see in the Furious, so we will get right on that.
Fury 9.
Fury 9. Is Fate in the...
Fast and the Fury 9.
Is Fate and the Fury, is that the 8th one?
Yeah, that's...
Why is it called Fate and the Furious?
Because
why isn't it Fast and the Furious 8?
Fate can be F8.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, that's my guess.
Because God.
Fate has 8 in it.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. And that's all you need to know about the Fast and the Furious movies, really.
I think I've just concluded that whole thing.
Last round of questions. Fiona McKinnon at Zeranix asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And then she came back with a quick follow-up of, to twist the question, Bees, where do you think Trevor will be in 5 years, and vice versa? So we'll do each other, basically. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'll do where I see myself in 5 years, and then we can switch. So where do you see yourself in 5 years, Lauren?
It's hard. Because I think 5 years in the future, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'll still be in LA. Like, in the sense of just, like, companies that are around, because I want to start focusing more on digital stuff and coordinating for that stuff. So I don't even know. I could be, who knows where I'll be, but I do, surely to God, in 5 years, I will be at least doing content that I like, ideally in a full-time manner. I could still be coordinating that time. It all depends on the company and what they deem is whatever. But I see myself keeping to this field of like production, ideally, and doing content that I enjoy, whether it's still with like Nerdist, Geek and Sundry, or I don't even know, other companies like Rooster Teeth or whatever, IGN, all those ones. So that's where I think I can achieve that in 5 years. Cool. I better. If I am still doing reality TV in 5 fucking years, it'll be game over.
There will be lots of drinking.
There'll be lots of rage.
Same vein. Like it's entirely possible, and I always try and keep this like as a stark reality. Like I could still be doing like nothing gaming industry wise in 5 years. Like I've certainly like come a long way in the last year and a half, 2 years, but I could absolutely like stall out here. And so it's like worst case scenario, I'm still doing like my current day job of like database management. I'll build up a bigger team, be managing a bigger database or something like that. That is affording me the opportunity to still go and do the gaming stuff on the side as like the passion project. But ideally, yeah, like I get in with an IGN, I often talk about the notion of like a lot of people want to go to IGN, be the next Greg Miller or the next Marty Sleever or something like that, whereas I want to do a bit of, I mean, like editorial stuff. Absolutely, I want to do, but I also want to use like my business acumen and like the business management degree that I went to, or that I went to school for, and basically become the next pair, the general manager.
Yeah, just doing your passion, but with another. That's why you can do two things, like put them together. It's nice.
Yeah. So that's hopefully 5 years I will be in a secured position at something like an IGN and kind of working my way up to do the editorial kind of content I love and talking about and writing about video games, but also like running things on the back end and kind of doing the like whatever the partly the equivalent of like coordination there, making sure that the ship is running in the way that it should, because I think that's something I can offer personally, that not everybody who's trying to make it into this industry and trying to do what I'm trying to do can. So that's where I see myself. In terms of where I see you in 5 years, very much like you said, I like, especially after this conversation and seeing kind of where you've been able to grow in just the last year, 2 years. I like you being a production manager or even a line producer in 5 years is absolutely, I think, in the realm of possibility. I think, and ideally, you found a taste of what you want to do, I think it will drive you to kind of keep pursuing that and like in the same way that like I've got a taste of IGN stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I've turned the last 2 years of my life into, and pushing to make that happen. I think you very much do the same, kind of make whatever you can get out of that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I hope so. But for you, I do not think you're going to stall out. I don't think you're going to be where you are. I don't think you're going to be living in Phoenix in 5 years. I 100% believe that you are going to be, I don't know if it's with IGN. You could start out there. I believe you will start out at IGN, but who knows, in 5 years, you could have accepted another position somewhere else. You could have been at IGN for 3 years and then like found a business, like someone that allowed you to do that there. But I 100% believe that you will be doing, be in a field in the gaming industry. There's a fucking siren going off.
It's every other time it's come up.
Yeah,
it's come
this
up
is just
like
really
when
loud.
I've been talking, and so I've actually like stretched out what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Until
I live right next to a hospital.
I can just mute your audio for
nice.
those other times when I'm talking. I can just mute the siren out. But yeah, this one hit while you were talking, so I'll probably have to leave that one in.
Yeah, I live next to a hospital, guys. Sorry. Apparently everyone can hear it. But no, I see you in the gaming industry field for sure. Whether or not you will be doing business by the time in 5 years, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't, if you were still working your way up, because right now everyone knows you for your writing and everything else. So I see you, but of course you do know a lot of people that could maybe put you in there, like at least closer to the mixture. So it's very possible, but you could still just be writing, which is not the end of the world. That is still awesome. I can see you very close in 5 years. Like, I just know that sometimes it takes kind of a long time to like kind of work your way like up or whatever. And I don't know how quick IGN or like anyone works. So it all depends on how or if you jump to another company that gives you that opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. But no, I 100% see you definitely going towards that path. I don't see you like stalling at all. Like, no, you're not going to be in this apartment in 5 years, Trevor. For sure.
Because I've been in this apartment for the better part of 12 years at this point.
No,
I moved into this apartment in December of 2003.
Yeah.
And then outside of like 8 months that I was in another place, I have basically been here the entire time. So yeah, it's I'm ready for a change.
Yeah, a little change. Like,
scenery,
you'll
so.
definitely be in San Francisco. If not, maybe Austin. If you like somehow hop on over with Rooster Teeth or something, you know, like. But
if I join everybody else that headed over.
Right, exactly. But no, you have done a lot these like past year and a half, like 2 years, and you have worked really hard, and people have taken notice of it, and you are good. I don't think you have anything to worry about. In 5 years, you'll definitely be at least doing what you want to do for the most part.
Well, I appreciate that, and I definitely, if I am fortunate enough to do so, as I often talk about, I will do like whatever I can to like bring my friends along for the ride.
Yeah, it's all about the contacts, man. No,
it is, and I mean, you touched on it. I've talked about it, I think, on here or on other things that I've been like. Mm-hmm. It's in both of our kind of industries and fields. It's very much. It's so much who you know, but then also like it's a mix of who you know and being able to do the job, and it's very much like you have to know somebody to get your foot in the door, and then once you do, you have to show to them very quickly and very efficiently that you can do what they need you to do. And if you know the person and can't do what you need to do, that's not going to work out. If you can do it but don't know the right people, that's not going to work out. So it is very much like every opportunity I've had career-wise so far, even outside of all this, has been like I knew the right person to get me the interview.
Right, yeah.
To come in and say, here's why I think I'd be a good fit.
A lot of times all you need is the interview, and like you can show yourself like how awesome you are. It's so hard to get that interview. Like a lot of the times,
like without the kind of the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, especially
with my career, there is no such thing as an interview. So what?
Yeah. I mean, I look at some of the opportunities I've had, and it's like I will apply or I'll send out a resume, and I'll know that 1,000 other resumes got submitted, right. And so if I don't have somebody like championing me to say, hey, like, look at this resume, it's not even going to make it through a filter.
Right. It's true. It's 100% true. Mm-hmm.
So that's absolutely kind of the realities of what we're like, what we're kind of looking at is it is so much who you know to help you get to
exactly. And it's like, it's not like even like you're not qualified for the job at all. It's like that's the problem. You are incredibly qualified and you will do a great job at it, but it's like that person needs to be there to like help you get there. And so it can be frustrating, but at the same time nice too, just knowing that you're just a call away almost.
Yeah.
But
well, thank you so much for joining me, Lauren, this week on Trove Talk. People can find you at Beasley
tweets on Twitter. Beasley, Beesly. There's no E between the L and the Y. And then it's Beasley.
There's no E in snarky either.
Yeah, and then it's Beasley Plays for Twitter. Or not Twitter, Twitch. And then, which I stream a whole once a year. Maybe awesome. More. I have this camera now. Like, who knows? Maybe. Yeah. And then, yeah, I am all over the place. Like, Snapchat, I'm LB
and
Wilson.
You just changed your, like, Instagram
I just changed my Instagram name to Lauren Beth Wilson to my entire full name.
That made El Bopoli make a lot more sense, though, knowing that Beth is your middle name.
Yes, indeed.
And
no one understood.
Is El Bopoli because of Tripoli?
No, it's LB-opoly for Monopoly. Because Monopoly was my favorite game in middle school.
I got that it's LB-opoly. I just say Labopoli.
I know, everyone does.
Because it's funnier.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Tripoli, I was like, oh, maybe, like, I figured it was Monopoly.
Yeah, it can be Tripoli, too.
I was like, it could be Tripoli.
It works both ways. But, no, that was 7th grade, Lauren. Back when your username wasn't supposed to be your full name. So, but now we live in the new day and age. Yeah. That my Instagram name
Facebook is a reality.
Is literally my entire name.
There you go.
So, that's how it is. And that's all the social medias, I think, that exists.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for being on the show. Thank you for watching the show or listening to the show if that's how you consumed the content this week. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Snarky Starky. You can find the show at Trove Talk. You can see whatever I've been working on writing recently on Trove.com. The most recent stuff I published this week were I put up a very in-depth review of my love of the Hamilton mixtape. My first time doing a musical album review outside, and just in general, I've added a non-gaming section to the page. I saw Rogue One last night, so by the time this is coming out, I might have some thoughts on Rogue One up. Real good movie, and yeah, I think that's all the plugs for the time being. As this will be the last episode that you're hearing before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas if that's what you're celebrating. Happy holidays for whatever else. And as always, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.